Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I'll be showing you how to crochet a belt sleeve strap or arm warmer. It is really easy and friendly for beginners. For this arm warmer, I use only some basic stitches and it made out of the back panel, the front shoulder part, and the sleeves. For this arm warmer, I made for size small, but in this tutorial I also showing you how to make it bigger and how to measuring it on your body. Okay, now without further ado, let's get started. To begin, we start working from the bottom of the back part. First thing first, make a slip knot. Then make the foundation chains by chain 45. It is equal 10 inches length. For you guys that make bigger size, you can add more chains. And after you got 45 chains, like I said, for the measurement of these 45 chains, it is equal 10 inches length, and it measuring from the underarm until it reach the other underarm, as you can see. For you guys that make bigger size, you just add more chain and measuring it on your back. And after you got 45 chains, or after you got your desired length, and next we are going to continue add 3 more chains. After you have add 3 more chains, and next for row 1, skip 3 chains and make the double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook. To make the double crochet, yarn over, insert the hook into the loop, yarn over and pull up a loop, and now you have 3 loops on your hook. Then yarn over, pull through 2 loops, then yarn over and pull through all these 2 loops. For chain 3 that we skip, we also count it as a stitch. Next, continue make the double crochet into every chain until you have one last chain. Then I will meet you back again. And after you have one last chain, and then we are going to increase by make 2 double crochet into the same loop or into this last chain. After you have made 2 double crochet in the same loop, and next for row 2, turn your work and make the double crochet into this first loop. To begin, insert the hook into this first loop, yarn over and pull up a loop, and now you have 2 loops on the hook. Then yarn over, pull through these 2 loops, then insert the hook into the second loop, yarn over and pull up a loop, and now you have 2 loops on the hook again. Then yarn over, pull through these 2 loops and repeat again by insert the hook into the second loop, yarn over and pull up a loop, and now you have 2 loops on the hook again. Then yarn over and pull through all the loops. This is how I made the double crochet without a chain stitch. And next, make another double crochet into the same loop with this first stitch. After you have made 2 double crochet in the same loop, you can use stitch marker to mark at this first stitch. It is where we are going to make increase for the next row. And next, continue make the double crochet into every stitch until you have one last stitch. Then I will meet you back again. And after you have one last stitch, which is the chain 3 stitch, then make increase into that last stitch by make 2 double crochet into the same loop. And after you have made increase, and next for row 3 until row 8, please repeat like row 2, then we meet you back again. And this is what it looks like after you reach row 8. For the measurement of this row 8, it is equal 16.5 inches length. And then you can try this piece on your back. Make sure that this back part, it reach the front underarm part as you can see. And for you guys that make bigger size, please keep increasing by repeat row 2 until this back part, it reach the front underarm part as you can see. And after you keep increasing this back part until it reach the front part of your underarm. And next, skip one stitch and use stitch marker to mark at the second stitch. And then measuring 2.5 inches from the stitch marker. And use the other stitch marker to mark at the 2.5 inches. And then count the number between these both stitch marker. For mine, I have 8 stitches and mark at the 9th stitch. And next, you have to count the same number to the other side. Skip one stitch from the corner and use stitch marker to mark at the second stitch. Then count 8 stitches and use another stitch marker to mark at the 9th stitch. For you guys that make bigger size, you can try this back piece and use the measuring tape to measuring the length of your underarm space. And after you have separate both underarm parts, and for this big space at the middle, it is for the upper back part of the top. And next, continue from where your last stitch is, and we are going to make the front strap. For row 1, turn your work, and then make increase by make 2 double crochet into the same loop. After you have made increase, then make a double crochet into the stitch where you mark. And after you have made a double crochet, and then we are going to end the row from this stitch marker. And next, for row 2, turn your work, then make double crochet into each stitch until you have one last stitch, then make increase again. After you have made increase, and next for row 3, turn your work, then make increase. And after you have made increase, then continue make double crochet into each stitch until the end of the row. And after you reach the end of the row, and next, start from row 4 until row 10, please repeat like row 2 and row 3. Remember, for this front strap part, we only increase for one side. And for the part where we use stitch marker to mark, it is for a straight side. And this is what it looks like after you reach row 10. For the measurement from row 1 until row 10, it is equal 5.5 inches length. It measuring from the underneath of my underarm until it reach the shoulder part. For you guys that make bigger size, you can keep increasing by repeat row 2 and row 3 until it reach the top of your shoulder, then stop increase. And after you reach row 10, then chain 1 and cut off the yarn. And next, we are going to repeat the same thing to the other side. It's just a little bit different. To begin, turn your work, and we are going to start working the stitch from the stitch where we marked. To begin, attach the yarn into the stitch where we marked. Then make a double crochet into that stitch. And then make increase into the next stitch, which is the stitch at the end of the row. And after you have made increase, next for row 2, turn your work and make increase again. And after you have made increase, then continue make double crochet into each stitch until the end of the row. And after you reach the end of the row, and for the next row, you just keep increasing only one side of the row. And for the other side, which is where we use stitch marker to mark, you just make a straight row, no increase. And after you reach row 10, then chain 1 and cut off the yarn. And remember, for both straps should have the same number of the rows as you can see. And for the next part, we are going to make the upper back part into the stitches between these both stitch marker. As you can see, this is the front side of the stitch. Then turn your work, and this is the wrong side of the stitch. So we are going to working the stitch into the wrong side of it. To begin, attach the yarn into the second stitch marker. Then make double crochet into each stitch until you reach the other stitch marker. Then I will meet you back again. And after you reach the other stitch marker, then for row 2, you just turn your work and make double crochet into every stitch until the end of the row. And then keep repeating row 2 until you reach row 14. And as you can see, I make this back part longer than the front part. So for you guys that make bigger size, you just make double crochet row until you got the same length or the same number of the row like the front strap, and then continue add 4 more rows like mine. For the measurement of these 4 rows, it is equal to 2 inches, and I recommend you guys to make this back part 2 inches longer than the front part or the front strap. And next, we are going to attach this front strap with the back part. To begin, turn your work. Then we are going to make single crochet both sides together. To make single crochet both sides together, insert the hook into the first loop of the back part. Then continue insert the hook into the first loop of the front strap. Then yarn over and pull through this both sides loop, and now you have 2 loops on the hook. Then yarn over and pull through all these 2 loops. Then keep repeating this into every stitch until you reach the end of the row of the front strap. Then I will meet you back again. And after you reach the end of the row of the front strap, then chain 1 and cut off the yarn. Flip it and you can see what the right side of the top looks like. And next, we are going to repeat the same thing to the other side. To begin, attach the yarn into both corner loop. Then chain 1 and make single crochet both sides together into each stitch until you reach the end of the row of the front strap. Then I will meet you back again. After you reach the end of the row, then chain 1 and cut off the yarn. And now we are done. Attach both sides together, then flip the top right side out, and this is what it looks like. And for my arm circumference measurement, it is equal 15.5 inches length. To make this armhole more bigger, you have to make the front strap more longer and the back part more longer too. And for the next part, we are going to make the sleeves. We start working from the top of the shoulder and then down to the underarm part and continue to the arm area. So I already make one sleeve, which is the right sleeve, and for the left sleeve we repeat the same thing, it's just a little bit different. So to begin, you just count the number of the row of this front strap, which is from the underarm part, until you reach the row of the back part that near the underarm part too, as you can see. So for mine, the front strap I have 10 rows, and the back upper part I have 14 rows. In total, I have 24 rows, so divide by 2, it means that you have 12 rows for each side. Then use stitch marker to mark at the small loop that near the 12th row. As you can see, this double crochet row, and we have the small loop that we're working the stitch into it, so you have to mark at that loop. And when you fold this part into 2 pieces, and as you can see, both sides are even. And next, count 2 rows from the middle stitch marker to mark at the small loop that near the second row, as you can see. And then count the same number to the other side and mark it. And now we got 2 rows for each side of this middle stitch marker. And now we can start making the sleeve. To begin, turn your work like this, and we are going to start working the stitch from this front strap until the 3rd stitch marker of the back side. To begin, attach the yarn into the loop that we marked. Then chain 1. And next, we are going to make increase into the small loop by make 3 double crochet into the same loop. After you have made 3 double crochet, and then continue make double crochet into this double crochet stitch, you have to insert the hook into the middle part of the double crochet stitch of the row below, as you can see. After you have made double crochet into the double crochet stitch, then continue make double crochet into the next small loop. Keep repeating this until you have one last row or one last double crochet stitch from the stitch marker. Then we meet you back again. And after you have one last row or one last double crochet stitch, then we are going to make increase into the small loop by continue add 2 more double crochet, because now I have already made 1 double crochet. And after you have made 3 double crochet into the same loop, then we are going to skip this double crochet stitch and make slip stitch into the small loop, which is where we use stitch marker to mark. As you can see, for the row of the strap is connecting with the row of the back part, and this is what the first row looks like. And next, for row 2, make slip stitch into the middle of the double crochet stitch. Then continue make another slip stitch into the next small loop, and after you have made 2 slip stitch, and as you can see, it looks like we skip this double crochet row. Then turn your work and make increase into the first double crochet stitch of the row below by make 3 double crochet into the same loop. And after you have made 3 double crochet in the same loop, then continue make double crochet into every stitch until you have one last stitch. Then I will meet you back again. And after you have one last stitch, then we are going to make increase again by make 3 double crochet into the same loop. And after you have made increase, then skip this double crochet stitch of the row below and make slip stitch into the next small loop. And now we are done for row 2, and this is what it looks like. And next, for row 3, make 2 slip stitch by make slip stitch into the middle part of the double crochet row. Then make another slip stitch into the next small loop, and after you have made 2 slip stitch, then turn your work, and we are going to make increase, but start from this row you only made 2 double crochet into the same loop. And for you guys that make bigger size, I recommend you to make 3 double crochet in the same loop. After you have made increase, then continue make double crochet into every stitch until you have one last stitch. And after you have one last stitch, then we are going to make increase again by make 2 double crochet in the same loop. Then make slip stitch into the next small loop. And this is what row 3 looks like. And next, start from row 4 until row 7. Please repeat like row 3. And this is what it looks like after you reach row 7. Please try the top on your body to see what the sleeve looks like on the top of the shoulder and on the upper arm. And this is what mine looks like. For you guys that make bigger size, you have to keep increasing until this sleeve part can cover around your upper arm. And after you reach row 7 or after you got your desired length, then start from row 8 until row 11. You just make 2 slip stitch, then turn your work and make double crochet into each stitch until you reach the end of the row. Then make slip stitch again to connect the row. So start from row 8, you just make normal row until you reach the end of the row of the strap, or after you reach the last row that near the underarm part. Then continue make slip stitch into the small loop to connect the row. And after you have made slip stitch, then continue make slip stitch into the double crochet of the row below until you reach the middle part of the underarm space. Then we'll meet you back again. And after you have made slip stitch and reach at the middle part of the underarm space, as you can see. And next, for row 12, chain 2. For chain 2, we don't count it as a stitch. Then turn your work. And we are going to make decrease by make 2 double crochet, 2 together. To make decrease, yarn over, insert the hook into the loop. Yarn over and pull up a loop, and now you have 3 loops on the hook. Then yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and now you still have 2 loops on the hook. Then yarn over and continue to insert the hook into the next loop. Yarn over and pull up a loop, and now you have 4 loops on the hook. Then yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and now you must have 2 double crochet with 3 loops on the hook. Then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. This is how we make decrease. Then use stitch marker to mark at this decreasing stitch. Continue make double crochet into every stitch until you have 2 last stitches from the corner. Then we are going to make decrease into this stitch at the corner. After you have made decrease, then continue make double crochet into each stitch of the row below until you reach the other corner of the sleeves. Then I will meet you back again. And after you reach the other corner, then we are going to make decrease by make 2 double crochet, 2 together. And after you have made decrease, Then continue make double crochet into every stitch until you have 2 last stitches. And after you have 2 last stitches, then make decrease. And after you have made decrease, then continue make slip stitch into the stitch where we marked, which is the decreasing stitch. After you have made slip stitch, and next for row 13, chain 2, turn your work, and make double crochet into each stitch around until you reach the end of the row. Then I will meet you back again. And after you reach the end of the row, then continue make slip stitch into the first double crochet stitch to connect the row. After you have made slip stitch, and this is what it looks like. So for this row 13, we just made normal double crochet row, no decrease. You guys can count the number of the stitches of this normal row. It is to make sure that for the next row you don't miss any stitch or got over stitch and make the sleeve not straight. And next, start from row 14 until row 25. Please repeat like row 13. It means that you just make a normal double crochet row until you reach row 25. Then I will meet you back again. And this is what it looks like after you reach row 25. For the measurement from row 1 until row 25, it is equal 12 inches length. In measuring from the top of the shoulder until it reach above the elbow. For you guys that make bigger size or you want the sleeve more longer, you just add more rows. And next, we are going to make increase to make the bell sleeves. Start from row 26. Chain 2, turn your work, and may increase into the next stitch by make 2 double crochet into the same loop. After you have made increase, then fold the sleeve into 2 pieces like this and use stitch marker to mark at the corner of it. And then continue make double crochet into every stitch until you reach the stitch marker. Then I will meet you back again. And after you reach the stitch marker, then we are going to make increase into that stitch that we marked. And after you have made increase, then you can use stitch marker to mark at the increasing stitch. Then continue make double crochet into every stitch until you reach the end of the row. And after you reach the end of the row, then make slip stitch to connect the row. And next, for row 27, you just make normal double crochet row, no increase. And for the next row, please keep increasing by repeat row 26 and row 27. It means that you have to make 1 row with increasing stitch and 1 row without increasing stitch. Keep repeating this until you reach row 47. Then I will meet you back again. And after you reach row 47, for the measurement from the underarm part until the end of the sleeves, it is equal 18 inches length. And next, we are going to make the ruffle edge around the sleeves. To begin, you have to chain 2 and turn your work. Then we are going to working the stitch into the back loop only. Make half double crochet into the back loop. To make half double crochet, yarn over, insert the hook into the back loop only. Then yarn over and pull up a loop, and now you have 3 loops on the hook. Then yarn over and pull through all the loops. Then chain 2 and make another half double crochet into the same loop. And after you have made a half double crochet, and now you must have 2 half double crochet in the same loop. And next, chain 2 and repeat the same thing by make half double crochet into the back loop only. Then chain 2 and make another half double crochet into the same loop. And after you have made 2 half double crochet in the same loop, then keep repeating this into each back loop only around until you reach the end of the row. And this is what it looks like. And remember, for this ruffle edge, you have to make it into the loop that face outside. So it means that you can make this ruffle edge into the back loop only or into the front loop only, just to make sure this ruffle edge stay at the right side and not inside or wrong side. And after you reach the end of the row, then continue make slip stitch into this first half double crochet stitch. After you have made slip stitch, then chain 1 and cut off the yarn. As you can see, I have the front loop remain at the inside of the sleeves, and this is what the outside or the right side of the sleeve looks like. And now we are done for the left side of the sleeve. And for the right side of the sleeve, you just repeat the same thing. It's just a little bit different. The difference is for the right side of the sleeve, you have to start working the stitches from the back part of the top to the front part. And repeat the same thing like the left sleeve. And now we are done for the sleeves, and next we are going to make the ruffle edge around this neckline and the bottom of the top. So we are going to start working the stitch at the middle part of the neckline. To begin, turn your work and attach the yarn into the loop at the middle part of the neckline. Then chain 1 and make single crochet into the same loop where we attach the yarn. Continue make single crochet into every stitch until you reach the strap part. Then I will meet you back again. And after you reach the strap part, which is the double crochet row, and then you just make single crochet into the middle part of the double crochet stitch of the row below. Then make single crochet into the small loop. Keep repeating this until you reach the bottom part of the top. Then I will meet you back again. And after you reach the corner at the bottom part of the top, then make 2 single crochet into this corner loop. And next, continue make single crochet into this small loop with this double crochet row. Keep making single crochet into each loop around until you reach the end of the row, then I will meet you back again. And after you reach the end of the row, then make slip stitch into the first single crochet stitch, and this is what it looks like. And next, we are going to make the ruffle edge by chain 2, turn your work, and make half double crochet into the back loop only. Then chain 2 and make another half double crochet into the same loop, then chain 2 and repeat the same thing into each back loop only around until you reach the end of the row, then I will meet you back again. And after you reach the end of the row, then make slip stitch to connect the row. Then chain 1 and cut off the yarn. And for the remaining yarn, please use darning needle to weave into the wrong side of the top. And now your belt sleeve shrug is done, and this is what it looks like. If you like this tutorial, please don't forget to click like and leave a positive comment down below. Subscribe to my channel and don't forget to follow me on my social medias. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.